Okay, this is our take on power outages. I'm sure everybody's
Powwow? Outages?
power outages.
Oh, power.
No, it's just this wacky. Somebody wrote in and said, "I love how random your topics are."
Oh, good.
So-
Well, that's life. This is
Yeah.
all the things in life that you have to deal with. Power outages. I'm sure everybody's experienced one. We've had earthquakes here in California, so power goes out all the time. So it's we ever talk about earthquakes?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm born and raised here. So earthquakes don't bother me at all. I've been in all of them. Even the ones in the 1800s.
Okay. You were here for the big San Francisco one too, weren't you? In 1920,
1929. No, boy, the buckets that we had to try to put the fire out with, it was horrible.
But
No.
we've can I set it up and then you can?
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you like to. So the complaints
Excuse me,
that we
I've had
get,
a drink.
most of the complaints that we get from the show is why does the guy in the middle talk so much?
That's right.
Yeah.
And we've had this conversation, Mark.
But I've been good lately. Except now.
Jesus.
When the camera's off,
Yeah.
you're good.
No, so power. Everybody's had a power outage, whether it's you blew a fuse. Who the hell blows a fuse? Remember the fuse? I guess my father, power
Well,
went
you
out, so my
screwed 'em
father go,
in.
get the fuses. And they come in a little cardboard box.
And you
me
screw
and
'em
my
in.
brother Steve have to go downstairs. You have to go find the one that was blown. And you have to take it. I always thought I was going to get electrocuted, but they don't have fuses anymore.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
so for me, it's very peculiar. I hate when the power goes out, and I hate when it goes out when I'm sleeping.
Well, how would you know?
Because I sleep with a fan on, right? And the fan makes noise, and as soon as the fan goes off, I wake up,
See, I've never.
and I'm pissed off, and it happens. It happened on my phone. It happened on my phone the other night. My damn phone was making an upgrade, and my fan went off on my phone. It woke me up at like 4:00 in the morning, bastards, and the phone company. But anyway, so
So you're a light sleeper.
I get it. Yeah.
See, I
guess.
sleep. I go to bed instantly.
That's what happens when you get old. It's called something. When you get old, it's called. It's called old. It's called
into sickness.
No, I don't want to understand. Anyway, so when the power goes out, what do? You have flashlights, or you have those those emergency lights?
No,
You
I
have
went to
emergency lights?
99-cent store and I bought a bunch of white candles for 99 cents.
That's
when it used
racist.
to be open. No. I was
He had a
gonna say-
bunch of glasses for 99 cents, the reading glasses, and
Oh, those are the best. Reading glasses, 99 cents. But my point is,
they have jeans in
and
there, too.
But here's what gets me about. I live in Woodland Hills, and we used to have a lot of power outages. And a DWP guy came and I was talking to him because I have no life. So I was talking to him. He said,
Did you invite him in?
Yeah, for a little bit. We talked. We had old transformers because in south of the Boulevard, Woodland Hills, you had all these these homes were built, in the 30s, 40s. He said we've updated the transformers, but we used to get power outages a lot. And I remember in the afternoon, I'd be
The
hanging
afternoon
out.
is fine.
No. Here's the worst thing. So I'm sitting there in my office or writing or doing or whatever, and the power goes out, and I go, oh.
Oh.
So I close my computer, I go into my living room, I say, at least I'll watch TV.
Turn the TV
and you go to
on.
turn the TV and you go, oh no, the power's because it's still daylight, so you didn't have, it's the worst thing in the world, and then you don't.
Amazing how you feel so completely
lost.
Yeah, you're done.
And
And this is what it was like how long ago? 100 years ago?
yeah, and we are so spoiled because
What was it like back then?
well, Grog.
Did you make the candles?
No, Grog used to take the boulders when we.
Well, that was millions of years ago.
Yeah.
do you remember when
That's why you still have a landline.
I had
I
a
do.
landline till I moved. I did. What,
I
George?
can't get rid of land.
we were set up to do a podcast in my house? Remember the backyard in the outside set is my home in West Hills, and we were shooting there, and we were all set up,
to say that.
and the power went
It's a
out.
studio.
And do you remember when we lit the candle, we were waiting for it to come on,
Yes.
and my neighbors came
Yes.
in, and we were all
Yeah,
just hanging
yeah,
out,
yeah.
and then like 3 or 4 hours it never came on, so we just called it. But
That's it.
that was fun.
No, that's a great
the whole
story.
But
Cut
what's-
that out.
No,
Cut the whole thing out.
But when it does go out, I remember. I think I was in the big blackout in New York.
Oh,
But the big thing is always the refrigerator, right?
Don't open it.
Because it stays. It stays.
it will
cool.
stay for 8-9 hours, 10 hours.
I know that, but you want to eat.
Oh, see,
It's the ice box for him. Remember, there's no refrigerator.
But it's so like I remember during when the earthquake in in 93.
No, 94, January 17th, on my birthday.
94, really?
Yep. I was in Encino.
I was like, what? It was early morning.
It was 4:08 in the morning.
It was 4
I was
o'clock
getting
in the
into
morning,
bed.
and I had 2 German Shepherds at the time,
Wow.
and I lived up in the hills, a little south of the boulevard.
I was south of Boulevard too, up in the hills.
in Laurel
Not me.
in Laurel Canyon, and I remember my dogs kept sleeping, didn't care.
Really?
I ran outside the front of my house, and I remember, and I looked up in the sky and I went, where did all these stars come from? Because all the
Transformers.
transfer, and I could see the transformers blowing because I had a view,
Wow.
and
So did I.
but there was no light. There was nothing to diffuse the sky. So it was beautiful. I thought this is kind of cool, but then I went back in the house and I went, what do I do now?
Yeah, it wasn't. You know, it's funny. I was in Encino Hills, and I was
South of the boulevard.
south of the boulevard. I had a view of the whole valley,
Right.
and I was getting into bed.
South of the boulevard is a big thing here in Los
It's
Angeles.
true. I was getting into bed with my girlfriend, and it started to go, and I had windows, and I saw the whole valley blown,
All the
transformers,
transformers.
and it went dark, but it was like 4:30, so it wasn't. The sun was kind of coming up, and the only real damage I had was my bookshelves in my office fell.
Yeah,
and
I didn't
everything.
have much damage.
But I have a great story, and I'll make it quick. I had a cat, a little white cat, and you know, after it shook, and we just stood there, and then we went out, and everything was fine. I had a 1-story house and no damage, but things fell. I thought I couldn't find my cat, so I went, oh my God, I think the bookshelves. There was a big bookshelf. I said, I think it fell. So we're throwing the books, trying to look for my cat. 2 days, I couldn't find my cat. I knew it didn't get out. No doors were open. I couldn't find my cat. And we looked everywhere. And I said, did it get out? Did it do? 2.5 days later, I'm sitting in my living room. I had off-white carpeting, and it was kind of a modern white house. And I see this black animal walking and leaving a trail in off-white carpeting. It was a white cat. And it was walking. And I go, Skoonch. I go, Skoonch, covered in soot. It had gone up in one of my fireplaces.
Oh, afraid.
Up in the flute that was open, and got, all black from the thing, and stayed there for 2 days.
Oh.
And I'll never forget that. And that was the
Looking for water.
Yeah. And Jennifer called me to make sure I was okay.
Wow. Who's
couldn't-
Jennifer?
Oh, Jennifer Aniston, a girl who was in the movie
She did?
Leprechaun.
Oh, he put Jennifer Aniston in
Yeah,
Leprechaun.
which we're going to put the poster in
She was
because
like,
nobody
"Oh, I
knows
still
that
alive."
movie. On this one, we got to put "I Want Me Gold."
But you've been in earthquakes.
Yeah, but
too.
my dog did the exact opposite of what you were. Mine, we couldn't find him. He was gone.
Yeah, mine was gone.
And he didn't sleep through it. He was so I didn't have any kids back then, and we looked everywhere, and I picked the bed up, and the
under the
dog
bed?
was under the bed,
Yeah, my
And so was your wife.
My dog, he wasn't married at the time. You got to listen to people when they talk.
I actually was.
He was.
Oh, you
He
just
was,
said you
yeah.
weren't married.
I didn't have
No, he said
kids.
he didn't have
Oh,
kids.
kids, so
you
you're
didn't
right,
listen.
you're right,
You
you're
didn't
right.
listen. Oh my God, he's like a woman. He doesn't
You're right,
listen.
You're right.
I'm kidding. It's men who don't listen.
Then
We left.
So what happened to your dogs?
nothing. Slept.
Okay. Cats
slept.
do get freaked out.
They just slept through the night. They slept. They didn't care. I tried to pull them out of the house. They did not want to come out of the house. They slept in bed with me, and they just did not want to move.
Huh.
But if you've never been in an earthquake, I was working. I was doing diagnosis murder during that earthquake, and we still worked that
doing
day.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Were you really?
Yeah, right in the middle of prepping.
Rumpelstiltskin. He did Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
They're doing a whole big thing on
Oh, they're
Rumpelstiltskin
doing a
now.
whole re-release 4K.
Yeah,
It's coming out
Rumpelstiltskin
very
was
soon.
another movie that Mark made.
Yeah. That no one
Right
saw.
after Leprechaun. No, they're going to redo it now.
Yeah, they are.
But so we went down to, we were working in Northridge. And,
Wow.
and the homes in Northridge, I'll never forget it.
that was a lot of
They
damage.
built them out of steel.
Really?
They were because of the earthquake.
Oh, when
in
they
like,
rebuilt it.
No, they built them the earthquake in like, there was another earthquake
No,
and people.
Northridge was the big
71.
71. There was one.
But
Near
there
Northridge.
was something in Northridge that a lot of the homes fell down. So the homes that they built they made them out of steel. So when I went to work, all that was left was the steel frames.
Wow.
All the walls had fallen down. It was incredible. I was doing the show, and we worked in a house that was condemned.
Wow.
It was the craziest thing ever. But it was, man,
But I will tell you this:
scary.
they don't kill anywhere near as many people
Get
as
killed running
tornadoes.
out.
Yeah.
And it was freak. The only thing in Northridge, the 84.
94.
94 was a freak apartment building collapse and tragically
on Moore Park. Wasn't it on Moore Park?
something like that. But basically, other than things falling, tornadoes kill 60 people,
Yeah, I
sometimes
know.
100 people. So earthquakes shake, and it's scary.
I lost half the water in my pool.
Wow.
From
Oh yeah,
sloshing
yeah, I had
out.
mine, same thing.
You know, I don't mind the rolling earthquake like that.
Oh, the
but
bang.
the one that goes like that, those are the ones that,
That
are
was
tough.
a tough one.
You
And
know,
we're-
my wife was in a tornado.
Really?
When she was in Tennessee, she was in it. She was, I don't know how old she was. She was pretty young. I don't know why she was out or whatever. It might have just come down and hit. I don't remember the exact story. But her cousin Sherry, I think it was Sherry, grabbed her and threw her, and like a storm drain,
Yeah.
like a big tube underwater, and
Yeah.
on the other side of it is exposed. Threw her inside that,
Wow.
and it saved her. And sometimes tornadoes come to Florida, but you guys have been in a hurricane?
Yeah.
No.
Where were you in a hurricane?
In Boston.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I was at school in Boston.
But the thing about a hurricane's coming. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
But we just had. I was in one. Was it last year? And it's. Yeah, man. You want to talk about Mother Nature? God Almighty! It's just like wind, lightning. It's like something out of a movie. It's. I kind of find it. But I hope I don't want anybody to get hurt. But it's it's kind of cool. I mean,
power of it, yeah.
It's awesome. Anyway,
Well,
what?
I was going to say, mostly people are very afraid of earthquakes who aren't from California, but we've learned. I was in the 71.
Oh, well.
I was in the 94.
See, if the earthquakes came in the
88.
daytime, I'd be fine.
Mostly the morning. I think
Well,
it's
like
early morning.
early morning, and it's always when it's kind of dark and quiet.
But-
and it feels like a truck is backing into your house.
It's scary because you never know when it's going to stop. Like it started 94,
And-
it started shaking.
but also, Mark, for like the first 4 seconds, you're like, what's happening? Right?
But
'Cause
then
you're
you know
sleeping.
right
Yeah,
away.
right.
But you don't know, like, okay, is it going to just shake and stop, or is it going to shake and get worse and everything crashes? But it never does. Nobody gets buried. The earth doesn't open
and
up.
supposedly, don't go into a doorway.
I've heard all
That's
this.
heard because
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not giving anybody advice. Supposedly doorways used to be made of metal, steel, and they're not anymore.
All I know is I stood and froze. I was in the middle of the bedroom, and I'm looking up and going, okay, nothing's collapsing, nothing's doing it. And then the minute it stopped, I went outside.
Yeah, me
that
too.
you go outside, and,
Yep.
and then all my neighbors came out, and
Yep.
they go, oh, the earthquake.
It's the only time you see
Pretty much
everybody.
the only time. Whatchamacallit came out across the street.
Oh, really?
Loggins.
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins came out and said, you guys okay?
Yeah, wow, nice.
I said, yeah, I'm Mark Joe. He didn't care.
Did you say I'm all right?
I didn't know that was his song. Kenny Loggins used to live across the street from me when I had the earthquake.
When earthquakes happen, the thing that I hear, I wake up and I hear my windows rattling because I think somebody's breaking in.
Right.
Then I go, oh no. Then I realize, wait a second, and then the earthquake hits right after.
Yeah. So what somebody told me the best thing to do is roll out of bed and lay right by the side of your bed because nothing can fall on you because the bed will stop it.
But you never think of that when it happens. You just kind of freeze.
But you get kicked out of bed a lot.
Yeah.
Always. Always.
All right. Don't get in a hurricane. Hopefully you won't be in one or an earthquake. And if you have a blackout, have a lot of flashlights. Thank you and good night. See up my nose with the